All right, let me make sure we're not on some sus ass freaking channel. All right, some weird ass commercials. What are we doing? All right, let's turn that down there. There we go. All right, can't forget to turn off the desktop audio. I'm not trying to have no ads playing in the background. Freaking compromise my freaking channel, especially on ESPN or NFL Network. They be trying to do me like that too. I mean, what the heck are we doing, man? All right. All right, YouTube Studio is awake. I am awake. Are you awake? If you're not awake, what the heck are you doing? Sorry. What's going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with my week 5 picks. And we got GN Sports in the house. What's up? I haven't seen you in a very, very long time. What's going on? What's going on? But yeah, we got 5 people in the chat. They're ready to hear what I got to say about this week's games, huh? So, this is going to take a long time. So, let me just say, shout out to everyone who's watching, whether you're out here on the East Coast, trying to stay awake, it's almost freaking 1 a.m. where I am. If you're in the mountain time zone where it's about, just about almost midnight. And then if you're out west, it's still relatively early in the night. You're out in west, like California, Nevada area, where it's, almost 10? Or maybe you live all the way out in the islands of Hawaii, where it's still just getting to nighttime. But yeah, we got ourselves another very fun week of football coming up. And of course, my Browns are on a bye week. But we're not the only team on a bye this week, of course. The other 3 teams on a bye, you have the Chargers, the Seahawks, fresh off a whooping of the Giants, and the Buccaneers. So 4 teams on a bye this week. And I know my team needed it bad. Of course, for the Chargers, Justin Herbert got hurt, so he'll have this bye week as an opportunity to get that finger looked at, and hopefully he'll be good to go for their next game next week. Again, the Seahawks, I know Geno Smith got banged up, but they beat the crap out of the Giants, so they're riding high. And the Bucks have actually looked really, really good. Yeah, that's something I didn't think I'd say, but here we are. So, with that being said, be sure to sit back, grab a beverage or a snack, or I guess in this case, a whole ass meal because I'm going to be here for a while. And we're going to dive right into these games. Of course, this year I've done a little something different. I will dive into each team's previous matchup and talk about how they did, and then I'll talk about how I think they're going to do this week. Now, starting us off on Thursday Night Football on Amazon, of course. Thank God this game's on Amazon because I don't think anybody would watch this game over baseball. Let's be serious. This game is reeking of ass. I mean, this game stinks. My God. But yeah, to start off week 5, we get the winless Bears and the 2-2 Commanders in DC. Betting line, Commanders favored by 6. Surprised it's not higher. Commanders have looked really good, but in their last game against the Eagles, yeah, they lost in overtime. Yep, they lost in overtime. They took the Eagles to the limit, and they just couldn't finish them off. That's the way it goes. I mean, sometimes, you'd rather be lucky than good. And the Eagles, well, they're kind of both. They're a little lucky, but more or less very, very good. Look at their wins this year. They haven't had one of those completely dominant wins, really. right? I mean, actually, let's take a look at their schedule so far. I mean, they beat the Patriots by 5. They beat the Vikings by, what, 6? Both games came down to reviews at some point, right? I mean, I guess you could say they dominated the Buccaneers. And then they barely escaped against the Commanders. That's just the Eagles, man. But you look at the Commanders, they're a solid squad. Bieniemy, of course, was hired to be their OC. And safe to say, they've looked good. Sam Howell last week, 29 of 41, 290 yards, 1 touchdown, got sacked 5 times. That's concerning, but the Eagles' front is just insane. They ran the ball 28 times for 107 yards total, mostly from Brian Robinson, and he didn't even do much. 14 carries, 45 yards, and a touchdown. Curtis Samuel did have a touchdown on 1 yard, but that's not much there. 29 receptions, 290 yards, and a touchdown through the air. McLaurin, 8 for 86, not too bad. Jahan Dotson had that touchdown that tied the game at the very end. 4 receptions, 27 yards for the former Nittany Lion. De'Ami Brown, Curtis Samuel contributed a little bit too. Logan Thomas got involved. Byron Pringle, who I honestly forgot was even a Commander. Antonio Gibson, John Bates, and Brian Robinson got involved in the passing game as well. Defensively, 3 sacks from Cameron Curl, who's a safety, Jonathan Allen, and Chase Young. So, hey, look at Chase Young getting involved. Yo, if they want to trade him away, I wonder who would fork up the assets to get him. I'm curious. Would we? No. I'd rather just wait to get him in free agency if we are even interested in him. But you look at their opponent in the Bears. When I say a team is ass, I'm mainly talking about the Bears. The Bears are going to win the Super Bowl. The Dookie Bowl. Yeah, Rudy, exactly. I'm happy we got a bye week next week so I can go watch the Browns and Niners. Might watch this game for fantasy wise. Go Cowboys! What's up, Gio? Cowboys will beat the 40 whiners in their home. I promise that. Ooh, bold words from old Rudy. See what happens. But looking at the Bears, Justin Fields might have had arguably his best game, and they still lose. 28 of 35, 335 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, got sacked 4 times. They ran the ball 31 times for 171 yards, mostly from Khalil Herbert, who had a monster game, 18 for 103. Nobody else really came close, so it was clearly a Khalil Herbert game for him. Now, through the air, DJ Moore was looking. 8 receptions, 131 yards, and a touchdown. That's what you wanted to see when you traded for him. You wanted to see that. Cole Kmet, 7 for 85 and 2 touchdowns. And Khalil Herbert even had a touchdown through the air, too. 4 receptions, 19 yards, and a touchdown. Like, how do you cook up their defense so bad, but yet you still lose? I mean, do I have to look at their final drives or so? Like, let's take a look and see what happened in that end of the game. So, touchdown. Okay, so they exchanged touchdowns. Then they punted. Then the Broncos scored. In fact, they scored on a pass from Russell Wilson to Sutton for a touchdown. And then the Bears had a fumble touchdown. But of course, it went for Jonathan Cooper. Yeah, that's where the game turned on its head. Yep. Fields got sacked. Ball came out. Jonathan Cooper, little Buckeye on Buckeye crime. Cooper took it to the house for the touchdown. That's where the game turned on its head. And then the Bears turned it over on downs. And yeah, I think that's where they went for it on what, 4th and like 1 or something in the shotgun. Yeah, 4th and 1. I think they were in the shot. Yeah, they were in the shot. 4th and 1, and you're in the shotgun. saw Bears fans on Twitter just losing their minds over that play. Like 4th and 1, and you're in the gun. Why? Is Coach Eberflus taking lessons from Ryan Day? Oh, I would. If thank God I'm not a Bears fan, because if I would have seen my team do that, if I would have saw the Bears do that, I would have put a hole in this wall. I would have put a hole in this wall. I would have broke something. I would have broken my phone, possibly the remote, this microphone, the window, the TV. I would have been throwing things, man. Oh my God. And to make matters worse, that turned directly into a field goal, which gave the Broncos the lead. And then on the final drive, Justin Fields, threw a pick. Even serious, dude. The Bears are the most unserious team ever. The most unserious team I've ever seen. Like, they are ruining Justin Fields, honestly. I think Justin would be better off if he just got the hell out of there. For real, like his confidence is in the toilet now, I'm sure. Because he just had his best game ever and they still lose. Like that's just bad. But yeah, you look at this game against the Commanders. It's in DC. I mean, like I said, the Bears are in the toilet right now, literally. I mean, they're in the toilet right now. The Commanders are looking solid. They're actually going to keep pace in that division. And I got the Commanders taking this one rather easily, but it'll be a convincing win. Maybe by 2 or 3 touchdowns. I think they take control late in the game. And Bears go to 0-5. Call them the Chicago and 5 Bears. Ooh. So, with that being said, yeah, give me the Commanders at home over the Bears. Now we move on back to London, where the 2-2 Jaguars face the 3-1 Buffalo Bills. Now, the Jags, of course, were in London last week, so they don't have to leave. They're still up there, I'm pretty sure. Probably just relaxing in the pubs, and fancying themselves on some tea and crumpet. Can I have some chips? Fish and chips. It's some good old fashioned British cuisine. Possibly watching some soccer. What else do they do over there? Rugby, maybe. Maybe a little cricket. Watching some football, as they say, right? Some football. Yeah. But, like, let's be serious here. The Jaguars, they needed that win last week because if it wasn't for that win, they might have been in the dumps too. Not even kidding you. They would have been in the dumps if they would have lost that game last week to the Falcons. A game Trevor Lawrence did really well. Yeah. Trevor Lawrence did great. 23 of 30, 207 yards, 1 touchdown, got sacked twice. Good game. Only 32 carries, 105 yards on the ground for Jags rushing, mainly from Travis Etienne, who had 20 for 55. Trevor Lawrence had 8 carries, 42 yards, not too bad there. Through the air, 23 receptions, 207 yards in total, 1 touchdown from Calvin Ridley, 2 receptions, 38 yards for him. Christian Kirk led the way, 8 receptions, 84 yards. So good game out of him and the others. Defensively, 4 sacks, 3 from Josh Allen. That's going to be fun. Josh Allen versus Josh Allen, part 2. Yeah. One from their first round pick from last year, Trayvon Walker. Yeah, he exists. And that's it, really. They also had a couple of interceptions. Darius Williams took one to the house. And the fun thing about this game last week, it was on Disney Plus as the Toy Story game. So when Darius Williams was taking it to the house on Disney Plus, they had like a little animation of flames coming out from under his feet. Like, okay, that's really cool. Hope they do that again sometime. But yeah, I mean the Jags looked really good, but now they're welcoming the Buffalo Bills to London, and the Bills are coming off an absolute beatdown of the Dolphins, who scored 70 the week prior, and they held them to 20 points this week. Now they did lose Tre'Davious White, which sucks, to an Achilles injury, but Josh Allen, he absolutely butchered the Miami Dolphins defense. 21 of 25, 320 yards, 4 tutties, 0 picks, got sacked twice for 10 yards. Oh, God. Wow. Yeah. Buffalo saw that 70 burger and they're like, that's cute. Let's go out there and shut them down. I had a feeling they were going to probably do that. I mean, damn, Dolphins, you score 70 1 week and then you just get shut down the next week. I mean, I mean, they didn't really get shut down. It's just they scored 20. Yeah. Now, on the ground, 29 carries for 104 yards, 2 tutties on the ground from James Cook and Josh Allen. James Cook ran it 12 times for 29 yards. Latavius Murray, 4 carries, 32 yards. Now, through the air, 3 tutties from Stephon Diggs, 6 receptions, 120 yards. He averaged 20 yards per reception. Like, my dude, talk about butchering. He made sushi out the damn Dolphins. My God. Wow. Yeah. I bet you they were wondering, oh my God, are the Bills gonna drop 70 on the Dolphins on some Uno reverse type thing? No, they dropped 48. Okay. Yeah, ever since they lost week 1 to the Jets, the Bills have been looking like they're on a mission. They got pissed off by that loss to the Jets because they literally lost on a walk-off kick return touchdown. Like, damn. They let that game slip through their fingers. They haven't let that happen again, really. Defensively, they did get to Tua 4 times, 2 from Greg Russell, 1 from Ed Oliver, and 1 from Daquan Jones. Good to see that out of your front guys, though. Now, you look at this game, betting odds, Bills favored by 5.5. I mean, the Jaguars are a solid team, but the Bills are just rolling so well. And I think they're going to carry this momentum into London. It's going to be very tough for Jacksonville to stop this offense of Buffalo. They're on a mission right now. And I see them rolling into London. And they're going to beat the crap out of the Jags. I think it'll be a good game, but Josh Allen's going to cook again, I think. Give me the Buffalo Bills to beat the Jags in London. And it'll be Rich Eisen and Kurt Warner on the call. And yes, if you're curious, this game will be on NFL Network, so everyone will be able to watch it this week, in case you're curious. But yeah, give me the Buffalo Bills to take down the Jags in London. They're going to walk in near their second home and beat their faces in. Wow. All right. Tuna fish. Yeah, they're going to make sushi out of them or tuna fish, whatever. They're going to make seafood out of them. Eberflus isn't a good coach. No, he's not. How has he not been fired yet? McCaskey is sleeping. They don't care. They do not care. They only see money. They don't see product. But yeah, give me the Buffalo Bills to take down the Dolphins in London. You're literally going to have. I'm sorry, no, take down the Dolphins. What am I talking about? Take down the Jags. God. It's late, obviously. But yeah, give me the Bills regardless. All right, moving on. We got a very impressive matchup. 2-2 Texans, 2-2 Falcons in Atlanta. Starting off with the Falcons. Man, I did not expect this out of you guys, Houston. My God. CJ Stroud looking like a beast in Houston. 16 of 30, 306 yards, 2 touchdowns, did not get sacked once. In fact, I mean, TJ Watt did play and they didn't touch him. And I heard Houston is missing some offensive linemen and they still shut him down. Damn. I mean, CJ cooked them, man. Damn. We do that. Oh wait, we kind of did, but our offense gave up the ghost. Stupid. 2 damn offensive turnovers ruined that game for us, man. Damn. But yeah, CJ Stroud went crazy. On the ground, 38 carries for 139 yards. Damian Pierce, 24 for 81. Singletary, 7 for 29, 7 for 25. Okay, he had a pretty decent game, but Damian Pierce went off again. And then through the air, Nico Collins, bruh. 17 receptions in total for the whole unit, 312 yards, 3 tutties, 2 from Nico. As a Buckeye fan, it's weird watching a Ohio State quarterback throw tutties to a team up north receiver. But hey, that's the NFL. You love to see it, right? Nico cooking with CJ. My God. I bet you Nico probably looks at CJ and goes, yo, I should have went to Ohio State. We could have been doing this for longer. Damn. Although I'm pretty sure Nico was there when we had Justin, but still, he should have came to Ohio State. But I don't even know if we offered him. That's aside from the point. Nico Collins absolutely barbecued. Houston reference, Texas barbecue. One of the best places for that kind of stuff in the whole entire United States. But yeah, he barbecued the Pittsburgh defense. Seven receptions, 168 yards, and 2 tutties. Nate Schultz, former Cowboy, 3 receptions, 42 yards, and a touchdown for him. Man, they got some weapons over there for CJ too. They're not going to be down for long if this keeps up. My God, they're not going to be down long at all. I just hope we're not going to be a reason why they are on the come up even quicker because they have our first round pick. So if we suck this year, they get our pick. The next thing I want to be is ass this year. Because I don't want us to have a top 5 pick because we're essentially giving them Brock Bowers or Malik Neighbors. And God forbid, I'm not giving them, bruh. I'm not giving them nothing. Think of what the Browns could have had if you had kept your picks. Don't bother talking like that to me. We could have had like Garrett Wilson, Granted, I don't know what our quarterback would have looked like. You guys could have still had Baker. Man, you could have had Baker. You could have had Garrett Wilson. You could have had, you could be looking at, like, Malik Neighbors if you suck this year. Bro, I know there's people thinking that. Stop it. We got Deshaun now. It's over. Okay? Damn. Stop it. I know y'all thinking that. I know you are. There's someone out there thinking that. Oh, you could have had this guy and that guy and this guy. We don't. Got to deal with it. Although you have to wonder, what if Deshaun really did say no? Who would be our quarterback right now? Like, seriously. If Deshaun was serious about denying us, one, where would he be right now? And two, who the heck would be our quarterback? Would we have gone with another veteran? Like Andy Dalton? Aaron Rodgers? Imagine Aaron Rodgers was a Browns quarterback. Okay, I'm out here fantasizing again. I gotta stop. But yeah, you look at the Texans defense, 3 sacks on Kenny Pickett / Mitch Trubisky. Well, actually, all 3 were on Kenny Pickett. But yeah, Pickett did get hurt in this game. Jonathan Grenard had 2 sacks and then 1 from Jerry Hughes. So the Falcons are going to have their hands full. They are really going to have their hands full this week trying to deal with the Texans defense. Will Anderson, I feel like he's going to have one of those big games this week. And looking at what the Falcons did against the Jags, I just talked about him a little bit. Desmond Ridder, 19 of 31, 191 yards, one touchdown, two picks, got sacked 4 times. On the ground, it was the Bijan Robinson show, as always, it seems like. 22 carries, 127 yards in total for Bijan. 14 carries, 105 yards. So you stop Bijan, you really put their offense into a little bit of a hole there. But that's a tough thing to do. Stopping him, not really. I don't think really anybody's been able to really stop him for the most part. Now, through the air, 19 receptions, 191 yards total, and one touchdown from Drake London with three. Oh, God. I just saw Drake London's stat line. Falcons fans, whatever you do not look at his stat line. 3 receptions, 28 yards. Those two numbers are never going to leave you. They're going to haunt you for the rest of your lives. Oh my God, bruh. He had 3 receptions, 28 yards, and a touchdown in that game. Dang, those numbers are never leaving you ever again. I have NFL Network. I would like Bieniemy to be as Browns coach. I gotta put Texans. CJ Stroud looks impressive. Yeah. Bone bruise. Yeah, he'll be back. Mm-hmm. Yep. He might even play this week. Now for the Falcons, they had 2 sacks, a half a sack from Bud Dupree, who I forgot was a Falcon, and David Onyemata had 1.5 sacks. So 2 people. Okay. And then that's really it there. So this should be a fun game. Betting odds for this game. Falcons favored by 2 because they're at home mainly. But I gotta roll with Houston here. I really like Houston. CJ Stroud's been balling, and I think they keep it going. Give me the Texans to take down the Falcons. And calling this wonderful game will be Brandon Gaudin and Mark Schlereth. All right, moving on. We got the 0-4 Panthers and the 3-1 Lions. Yo, the Lions might be going 4-1. Oh my God. I'm talking about I've been talking about games that have been really impressive. The Lions went into Lambeau and took over that joint. They were showing the crowd during the game. Bro, there's a lot of blue and silver in that freaking stadium. My goodness. Jared Goff, 19 of 28, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. That pick happened at the very beginning. And at the end of the game, it turned into the David Montgomery show. 32 carries, 121 yards, 3 touchdowns. I have him in fantasy because, I wanted to get Jahmyr Gibbs, but it's like, dude, the way they have been doing it with David Montgomery, they are in favor of him. I remember I talked about this, I think, in a live chat on a live stream somewhere. Maybe it was in a group chat. I don't know. But what we're seeing from Montgomery and the Lions, how they use him, is almost exactly like what we did with Carlos Hyde when we drafted Nick Chubb. It got so crazy to the point where John Dorsey, who ironically is in the Detroit front office, it got so crazy that Dorsey had to trade Hyde just to make sure we played Nick Chubb. Because he was not playing Nick Chubb. Although, to be fair, when he did get on the field, he scored mostly. That Raider game was still crazy to me. That dude touched the ball, I think, 3 times, and he scored, I think, every time. It's freaking nuts. But yeah, David Montgomery had a hell of a game. If you have him in fantasy, boy, you are loving life. Jahmyr Gibbs only had 8 carries for 40 yards. Khalif Raymond had 1 for 40. And then Jared Goff had 2 for 10. Through the air, not much really, in terms of big numbers. Although Jared did do a great job of spreading the wealth. I did have a friend who did like a parlay, and Sam Laporta needed one more catch. He had 4 for 56. I think he needed like one catch at halftime. Did not touch the ball the rest of the game. That's freaking, that's brutal. Josh Reynolds had a good game. 3 receptions for 69 yards. Nice. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 5, 56, and a 1. Good for him. He's an absolute beast. Kind of wish we would have drafted him, but, you know, we didn't, of course. I think we took Anthony Schwartz instead of him. Stupid. Absolutely stupid move right there. Imagine us with Amon-Ra right now. Bro, that'd be nuts. Now, defensively, 5 sacks. So they were getting to the backfield and getting after Jordan Love. John Kaminsky had one. Aleem McNeil had one. Aiden Hutchinson and Charles Harris combined for 2. 1.5 from Aiden and a half a sack from Charles. And then 1 from Isaiah Buggs. It's funny. Buggs had a 1 tackle, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 QB hit. Wow. They totaled 11 QB hits in that game. Yeah. John Kaminsky and Aiden Hutchinson were just rattling poor Jordan Love. That dude, man, he was probably feeling hella shell shocked after that game. He was getting whacked left and right. My goodness. No, they got to face Carolina. Rookie quarterback. It'll be interesting to see the game plan from that Lion defense. Now, in this game, as I pull up the stats here, let's actually pull up the betting line while that loads up here. Detroit's favored by 9.5 at home. Not surprising. The receiving yards prop for Laporta. Ah, damn, that's tough. Wow. So, okay, now it doesn't want to show up. Of course it doesn't. Oh, man. But yeah, Godin and Schlereth doing Houston, Atlanta. And by the way, for Carolina, Detroit, Chris Myers and Daryl Johnston will be on the call for this one. I always love it when they have a good commentary crew to go with a good game. Now, Carolina, Bryce Young, 25 of 32, 204 yards, no touchdowns or interceptions, and got sacked 5 times. Damn, that's tough. 31 carries, 83 yards on the ground, mostly from Chuba Hubbard. And Miles Sanders had 13 for 19. Hubbard had 14 for 41. Not much else after that. Through the air, Adam Thielen led the way with 7 receptions, 76 yards. Terrace Marshall got involved with 9 for 56. Chark, Sanders, Chenault, Hubbard, Hurst, and Thomas all also had their contributions, although Thomas only had 1 target, no catches. But yeah, not much from the receiving game. And you're probably thinking, wait, how did they score? Oh, they scored on a defensive touchdown. Yeah. Sam Franklin Jr. had a touchdown on defense. So, there's that. Yep, it was a pick 6. 99-yard pick 6. Oh. Wow. End zone to end zone. Pretty much. Like side, goal line to goal line. Wow, that thing must have been like a yoink and then straight the other way. Nobody in his way. Oh man, that's tough. The only touchdown you get is on defense. Yikes. Other than that, you get really nothing. And the Panthers continue to struggle with a new staff and everything. So we'll see how they do this week against a tenacious Lions defense. Now defensively, they did sack Kirk Cousins twice. One from Yetur Gross-Matos and one from Jeremy Chin. So yeah, Burns didn't do really much of anything here. In fact, he only had 1 QB hit and one tackle. Wow. Not much there from him in this game. He was quiet. Wow. But yeah, I think in this game, I'm going to go Detroit. It's kind of obvious, low key. I mean, I would love to pick Carolina as the upset, but I can't trust them. Give me Detroit. They're riding high right now. And I truly believe if they can stay healthy, they can definitely win that division. Because right now, they're 3-1. Green Bay's 2-2. Minnesota's 1-3. And we all know about Chicago. Minnesota and Chicago are looking like straight butt. The only competition is Green Bay, and they're mid as heck. So if Detroit can stay healthy, they can take that division. Oh yeah, they can definitely take that division. But this should be a fun game at least. You know, it should be entertaining. It'll be fun to see what Bryce Young does. I will be keeping an eye on this game because the Browns have a bye, so we could be watching it a little bit. You know, maybe popping in every once in a while just to see what's going on. So yeah, give me the Lions to win this one. Yeah, give me the Lions. All right, moving on. We got the 2-2 Titans and the 2-2 Colts. Titans, after they got absolutely blasted by my Browns, they saw those damn orange helmets with the Bengal stripes on them, and their eyes turned blood red. They saw red because, my God, the Bungles didn't stand a chance. They did to the Bungles what we did to the Titans. 27-3. Derrick Henry must have been pissed off that we shut him down because the Bungles couldn't stop him. 22 carries, 122 yards, and a touchdown. Tannehill even had a good game too. 18 of 25, 240, one touchdown, one pick. Got sacked 3 times, but yeah, he still looked good. DeAndre Hopkins, 4 receptions, 63 yards. Nick Westbrook-Ikine had 551 and a touchdown. Nobody else really contributed too much other than those two. Let's be serious, but yeah, damn, that's tough for Cincinnati, bro. They're slipping a little bit. And the thing is with Burrow, Bungles fans might not realize this, but I was having discussions with some friends of mine in like group chats and stuff. And I've seen people talking about it too, like on social media. That injury, the calf thing that he's been dealing with, that could get worse if he's not careful. He could pop an Achilles. Yeah, he's got to watch that. He's got to. If I was Joe Burrow, I wouldn't have played. I would not have played week 1, 2, 3, or even this game. I would have sat out for maybe the first 3 or 4 games just to make sure I'm good to go. Right? You should be able to trust your backup. Because right now, he ain't looking good at all. He went 20 of 30, 165 yards, did not throw a touchdown again. 3 sacks, 26 yards lost on those sacks. He's not really mobile, and he's a statue back there. And he's not even really throwing the ball like that well either. He's looking like Joey Checkdown. Screw Joey Chestnut. They got Joey Checkdown. I shouldn't bring up Joey Chestnut. That's a legend. But still, you get the idea. He's Joey Checkdown. Damn. But yeah, defensively, they were having fun out there. 3 sacks, one apiece from Jeffrey Simmons, Arden Key, and Travis Gibson. So they're big guys up front were getting after Burrow, which is what you got to do. You got to get after him. You got to rough him up, make him hear footsteps. You know, that body clock of his will speed up and he'll be all out of whack. But how about the freaking AFC South? Everyone has the same damn record at 2-2. Wow. That's the most mid division in football. That's crazy, right? But of course, Tennessee looking good, man. And now you got to face the Indianapolis Colts division rivalry. And for some reason, the Colts were down 23-0. They came all the way back, and then they just said, "All right, we're done. done. Like, yo, overtime. You want to show up? No? You're done? Damn. Anthony Richardson only completed 11 passes, had 2 touchdowns, got sacked twice. 11 of 25, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions for Anthony Richardson in his return. On the ground, Zach Moss, 18 carries, 70 yards. A. Rich had 10 for 56, so that's where the rest of it went there. Running the ball really well, looks like. Got to be careful, though, Rook. You don't want to get popped by one of these linebackers these days. They be laying that wood on people like that. Got to be careful with 1 touchdown. So 31 carries, 133 yards in total. And it's mainly from Moss and Richardson. And by the way, if you haven't heard by now, Jonathan Taylor was officially essentially brought up. Like his PUP stint is going to be over soon. They began the clock on his return to practice. So he has like 21 days to be activated off the pup before he's reverted for the rest of the year. So he'll probably come up and then they might have him play like 1 or 2 games. And then don't be surprised if he gets traded. Now, for some reason, Mary Kay Cabot, who is a Browns beat writer, thought it would be necessary to come out on our bye week and post an article talking about the Browns possibly trading for Jonathan Taylor out of nowhere, like unprovoked. It's like, Mary, you do realize what the implications are, right? If we do that, we trade for Jonathan Taylor, we got to pay him, right? And if we pay him, you know we're losing this guy. We're losing Nick Chubb if we pay him, right? I don't think it happens. Now, am I saying the Browns aren't going to trade for a running back? I'm not saying that at all. With how bad our run game has looked, I would not be shocked if Andrew Berry went out and still traded for a running back. Not sure who it would be, though, but I'm sure he could do that. But, yeah, to be honest with you, the Colts are a good team, but the Titans, I think we woke them up. Yeah, I think we woke them up, and I got a feeling Tennessee's going to go out here and just ride this wave that they are on now after beating the tar out of Joe Burrow. They're going to go out there and do work against the Colts. So give me the Titans to win. Betting line for this game is Titans by 1, so it's almost essentially a pick 'em. And calling this game on TV will be Spiro Dides and Adam Archuleta. This is on CBS, so it's one of the early CBS games. So should be fun. Can't wait. But yeah, you look at the receiving game: 11 receptions, 200 yards, 2 touchdowns from Indy receivers Drew Ogletree and Mo Alley Cox. Okay, 3 for 48 and 1 for Drew Ogletree. 1 reception, 35 yards for and a touchdown for Mo Alley Cox. Alec Pierce had 1 for 38. Michael Pittman really didn't do anything. 1 for 15. That's it. Just out of nowhere. He was cooking the first couple weeks, and now it's like, no. No. He just ain't gonna show up today. Oh, they only had 2 sacks. Half a sack from Zaire Franklin and 1.5 from Dayo Odeyingbo. Oh my god. Oh, but yeah, they're going to have their hands full this week. I think Tennessee's going to handle them not easily, but pretty convincingly. Give me the Titans to take it. And we move on to the next game. Oh God. The 1-3 Giants and the 3-1 Dolphins. Oh boy. Betting line for this fantastic contest is Miami by 11. Yeah, this game could very well be bad. This could very well be an ugly one, fellas. The Dolphins are 2 weeks removed from dropping 70 points on the Broncos, and they just lost by 28 points. Tua Tagovailoa, 25 of 35, 282 yards, one touchdown, one pick, got sacked 4 times. On the ground, 19 carries, 142 yards, two touchdowns from Devin Achane, or Achan, as he wants to be called now. 8 carries, 101 yards, two touchdowns for Achan. Sounds like another site like 4chan or something. One of those like Reddit subsites or whatever. Tyreek Hill, 1 for 14. Yeah, not much there besides Achan. Now, through the air, Tyreek Hill, 3 receptions, 58 yards. They held him quiet. The Buffalo Bills did. Braxton Berrios had a touchdown, and that was it for scoring from the receivers. Braxton had 6 for 43 and a touchdown. Overall, 19 carries, 142 yards, and two touchdowns on the ground. 25 receptions, 282 yards, and a touchdown through the air. And then defensively, they got 2 sacks on Josh Allen, both from Andrew Van Ginkel. Van Ginkel. Oh, wow. And do I even need to go through what the Giants did? I almost don't even want to talk about the damn Giants. They suck. They are the definition of booty. They're booty booty. Booty booty booty. Like, my God, this team is an embarrassment. They put them on prime time again, and they did nothing. 3 points. What the heck, man? Stop putting these bozos on national TV. Nobody wants to watch them. They're ass. They paid their quarterback $40 million to go out there and derp around for 3 hours. My God, bro. 27 of 34. 203 yards. 2 interceptions. And not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. Something like LeBron James. Not 6, not 7, not 8, not 9, 10. No, 11. I don't know why they have 10. I thought there was 11. There might have been 10 sacks on Daniel Jones. From a defense that really wasn't looked at as that kind of defense. 10 or 11 sacks on Daniel Jones. 29 carries, 112 yards on the ground. Their leading rusher, Daniel Jones, with 10 for 66. Breida had 14 for 30. Through the air, they did nothing. 27 receptions for 203 yards overall. But the most receptions anyone got was Matt Breida and Wan'Dale Robinson, who had 5 apiece. Matt Breida had 5 for 48. No touchdowns at all, of course. And 2 sacks from Kayvon Thibodeau. Whoop de freaking do. Nobody freaking cares. And then, of course, old Danny Boy threw a touchdown to the Seahawks. Devin Witherspoon, 97 yards to the house. Classic derp moment, right? So, yeah, Giants fans are down bad once again. That's tough, right? That's tough. But yeah, this was an ass kicking of epic proportions, and they once again embarrassed themselves on primetime. And now you get to face the almighty Dolphins. We all know what's probably going to happen here. Dolphins are going to go out here and just run a roughshod all over them. I think Achan is going to go crazy. Tyreek Hill is probably going to butcher every single corner on him. They ain't going to stop him. They're pissed off because they got beat up pretty good by Buffalo. And by the way, Giants, you play Buffalo after this. So do I hear 1-5, unless you somehow beat these guys, which could happen. You never know. But let's be serious. It's probably not happening here. Unless they shock everybody, which they could. That's the beauty of football. You got to play the game, right? They might have a generational masterclass this week and shock everybody. Never know. But for the purpose of this stream, I'm going Dolphins. Give me the Fins to go out there and they're going to take care of business at home. Yeah, did I forget to mention it's at home? So it's in Miami. If it's sunny and hot out there, the Giants are going to suffer because, of course, the way they built the stadium, the visiting sideline is directly in the sun's wrath, whereas the Miami sideline's in the shade. Talk about a home field advantage. That's freaking crazy. But yeah, give me the Dolphins to win this game. And calling this game will be Kenny Albert and Jonathan Vilma. How fun do they have a former Jet calling this Giants game? That's crazy. But yeah, give me the Miami Dolphins to win this one. Check the chat. You think we can beat the Niners? It's possible. You never know. You never know. I know Niners fans are going to say it's a blowout. Niners are going to kick your ass. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I've seen, letdowns happen before. See what happens. But I'm not talking about that game right now. Let's get through this week first. Of course, we're on the bye, too. So we get to heal up. Yeah, give me the Dolphins. All right, moving on. We got the 2-2 Saints and the 1-3 Patriots, who just got their butts kicked in by the Cowboys. So we'll see how they rebound. And the Saints are, of course, coming in at 2-2. And I don't even know how they did last week anyway. Oh, yeah, they lost 25-9 to Baker Mayfield. But, of course, Derek Carr, for some reason, chose to play with an injured shoulder. And as you can tell, it didn't go so well. 23 of 37, 127 yards, no touchdowns or picks, got sacked twice. Ouch. Jameis did come in for one play, but he threw a pick, of course. On the ground, Alvin Kamara, 11 carries, 51 yards. Not bad for him. 19 and 70 overall for the rushing attack. 24 receptions, 140 yards, and no touchdowns for their receivers, led by Michael Thomas, who had 4 for 53. Kamara had 13 receptions for 33 yards, so it's pretty clear they were trying to essentially limit Carr. They didn't want him to do too much, mainly just keeping it like, short range stuff, playing it safe, which is the good thing to do when you have a quarterback who's bummed up a little bit, banged up. Makes sense. Defensively, 1 sack coming from Brian Breezy, the rookie from Clemson. And they had an interception from Isaac Iadom. So that's it. That's all I need to talk about there, because not much happened for them. Now, the Patriots, again, just like the Saints, didn't do anything at all. Mac Jones looked like ass. That's one of my favorite words to describe things. Ass. He looks so bad. Disaster class, definitely. 12 of 21, 150 yards and 2 picks. One went to the house. Yeah. I think it was a pick or it was a fumble or something that went to the house. Oh, yeah, it was yeah, Bland took one to the crib. That's right. Okay. The replacement for Trayvon Diggs. But yeah, Mac Jones looks so bad. 23 carries, 53 yards for the Patriots rushing attack. Stevenson did nothing really. 14 for 30. Zeke 6 for 16 in his return. Yeah, disaster class big time. Through the air, 16 receptions, 207 yards. Hunter Henry led the way, 4 for 51. They didn't score a touchdown, of course. And then defensively, 3 sacks on Dak. 1 from Jelani Tavai, 1 from Dietrich Wise, and 1 from Josh Uche. And of course, they lost Matthew Judon, possibly for the year too. That's tough. And that's really it from the Patriots. So you look at this game, Betting odds for Pats and Saints 1.5 favoring New England at home. And does Mac Jones bounce back? Yeah, give me the Patriots to bounce back, and they're going to get a well-earned W, and they're going to go to 2-3 this year. So give me the Patriots to beat the Saints. By the way, calling this game will be Kevin Harlan and Trent Green. So yeah, give me New England to squeak out a victory over the Saints at home. And now for the biggest game on the slate, I think. A rivalry game that spans all the way back to 1996. 3-1 Ravens, 2-2 Steelers. Oh, man. So the Ravens, of course, coming in after beating the crap out of poor old rookie Dorian Thompson Robinson. Poor kid looked so outmatched. My God. But Lamar went off on us too, like he seems to always do. It looks like Ben passed down the torch of owning the Browns to Lamar. Although, let's be honest, I'd rather have it be Lamar than Joe Burrow. What do you mean? I'd rather be owned by Lamar than Joe, because imagine we were owned by Joe. Oh, God, we would never hear the end of it. I mean, we already don't hear the end of it from Lamar, but Lamar is a humble guy. He ain't gonna really be like that. They're fans, they're happy, they're enjoying it. But imagine your little brother finally has a little bit of success against you, and he's out here freaking talking crap. But instead, it's us that owns them. So, yeah, bungles. Yeah. How'd that whooping taste from the Titans, huh? Oh, we wouldn't know that because we shut them down. We pissed them off, and you took the whooping. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Yeah, it's like we woke the bear. We threw the rock at the bear, and then we ran our asses up a tree, and then the bear saw you and absolutely tore the crap out of you. That's what happened. We woke the bully out of his sleep, when we took off, we ran away, and the bully saw you and beat your face in. That's what happened. Like, damn. Yeah, the Bengals are in trouble. But looking at the Ravens, though, 33 carries, 131 yards, 2 touchdowns, both from Lamar. Gus Edwards, 15 for 48. Justice Hill, 3 for 33. Lamar, 9 for 27 and 2 touchdowns. Melvin Gordon had 3 for 21. Yeah. Through the air, I mean, they didn't really kill us that bad. 15 receptions, 186 yards. Mark Andrews had 5 for 80 and 2 touchdowns, of course. Zay Flowers, 3 for 56. Melvin Gordon had 1 for 23. And the crazy thing was, it looked like we had finally figured out Mark Andrews. Like, he hadn't scored on us in a couple years, I think. But of course, he makes up for it with 2 touchdowns in this game. Ay, ay, ay. I'm sure we'll try to get him back in Baltimore because by that time, Deshaun will be back. Of course. Hopefully. Yeah, Lamar did have a fumble. I think he fumbled twice. One was like a strip sack, and the other one was him just on a bad handoff. Sack wise, we had 4 sacks on him. So if you're a Steeler fan, you're looking at that going, okay, so you can get to him. I'm sorry, no, we had 3 sacks. I'm looking at the Ravens thing, but they had 4 sacks on DTR. Patrick Queen, Broderick Washington, Justin Metabike, and it says team. I don't know why it says that, but okay. Now, if you're a Steeler fan wondering, did the Browns get to Lamar? Yeah, we had 3 sacks. Half a sack from Jordan Elliott, half a sack from Dalvin Tomlinson, and then 1 from Obo, and then 1 from Miles. And on that sack by Miles is, I believe, when he got hurt. I'm pretty sure. Or it might have been something else. But yeah, Obo got another sack, so he's contributing really well, too. Dalvin got a half a sack. Jordan Elliott contributed something for once. That's nice. But we need more, man. We need to heal up here. So TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, Keanu Benton, they're going to be key in this game. They're going to be key here. And we'll see if how Kenny Pickett looks. Because, God, the freaking Ravens go. The Ravens have faced. Who have they faced so far this year? They faced, last week, they faced a rookie making his first start. Before that, they faced Gardner Minshew. Before that, they faced hobbled Joe Burrow. God, they're just so they benefit from that stuff, man. It's crazy. Who did they face week one? Actually, they faced a rookie, C.J. Stroud. So they faced two rookies making their first start, a hobbled Joe Burrow and Gardner Minshew, and they lost to Gardner Minshew of all people. And if you're wondering who do they got coming up, possibly a hobbled Kenny Pickett or Mitch Trubisky. They got Ryan Tannehill, Jared Goff, and then possibly Kyler, although most likely it'll be Dobbs. But if it's Kyler, that'll be interesting. And then Geno, and then they face us again. Then they face the Bengals, and then it gets kind of tough a little bit. Because then you have Justin Herbert, then you have Sam Bradford again. Damn it. Matthew Stafford, then Trevor Lawrence, then Brock Purdy. Then you end it with Tua, and then Kenny Pickett again. Wow. Facing Dolphins in the cold weather, that'll be fun later in the year. But yeah, I think the Ravens are definitely going to be trying to go to 4-1 here. See how Lamar does coming off this game. I mean, going from facing the Browns defense to now facing the Steeler defense. And it's a Steeler defense that gave up 30 points and did not sack CJ Stroud one time. And again, they might be facing a hobbled Kenny Pickett or Mitch Trubisky. Kenny Pickett, 15 of 23, 114 yards, 1 interception, got sacked 3 times, and he even got hurt on one of those sacks too. 25 carries, 114 yards on the ground. Najee Harris, 14 for 71. He's really the only one that did anything notable. Through the air, 18 receptions, 132 yards, no touchdowns. Of course, the rest of the AFC North did not score a single touchdown last week besides the Ravens. So that's tough. Defensively, they did not sack CJ Stroud one time. So they're going to be a little bit extra hungry, and they got to deal with Lamar. So they might be starving another week in terms of sacks. But TJ Watt and Highsmith, and that front, that's going to be key, especially the middle guys. Can they contain Lamar? We'll see. Are you going to stream this game? Believe it or not, I've thought about streaming this game. Steelers and Ravens. Haven't decided yet, though. We'll see. By the way, this game is in Pittsburgh, too, by the way. So this will be an interesting game, If the Steelers win, that will keep the Ravens within reach of us and them, of course. The Steelers would then be tied for first place all of a sudden. And then, of course, we'll see what happens next week. But calling this game will be Ian Eagle and Charles Davis. Betting odds for this game. Where are they at? Let me see if I can find it in here. Did they take it off because of Pickett being injured or something? I don't see it. I wonder if they did. Because I'm not seeing it. They might have. Yeah. Oh, no, it's right here. It's at the very top. Okay. Right underneath the London game. Ravens favored by 4 on the road. Yeah. I could see that because Kenny Pickett. How's he going to be? But I think in this one, I'm going to go Ravens because Kenny Pickett and, Matt Canada's still there too. Oh, God. Is Mike Tomlin really going to let his legacy be tarnished by Matt freaking Canada? Any other team has an OC that bad, they would have yeeted him into the freaking unemployment line months ago. They would not have brought him back. Jacob, Steele Jackson, Yinzer Mac, anybody that's a Steeler fan that's watching this, why do you guys still have Matt Canada? I mean, I'm a Browns fan. I don't really care. I want him. I want you guys to keep him for the rest of your guys' history. But you still have Matt Canada. Personally, like I said, I would love it if you guys kept him for the rest of eternity. If you guys have him, high ambitions, wouldn't you guys get rid of him? Right? I mean, that's right. The Steelers don't fire coaches. That's right. That's right. They don't fire coaches. So, with that being said, Matt Canada is not leaving, and you guys are going to be stuck in hell forever. Yeah. I mean, even the Ravens got rid of Greg Roman. Who knows? We should have fired him in the offseason. Yeah, but you're not going to because you guys don't fire coaches. Yeah. The Browns can't keep a coach longer than a couple years, and you guys don't fire coaches. So we're like on the opposite ends of the spectrum for that. But in this one, I'm going to go with the Ravens to beat the Steelers. And like I said, I might stream this game. I'll probably decide probably by Thursday or Friday. So I might stream this game. We'll see. But yeah, give me the Ravens to go to 4-1 on the year. And that's going to do it for the 1 o'clock slate of games. Wow, I did the whole 1 o'clock slate in about an hour. That's crazy, right? Fastest I've gotten through the 1 o'clock slate, I think, all year so far. Thinking weeks past I would have still been on like the third game. Because all I do is ramble. But anyways, yeah, give me the Ravens. So just a quick, brief rundown of the 1 o'clock slate. I got Bills, Texans, Lions, Titans, Dolphins, Patriots, and Ravens. Now we move on to the 4 o'clock games. 2 at 4:05 and 2 at 4:25. Starting with the 4:05 slate, 1-3 Bungles, 1-3 Cardinals. Something's got to give. Joe Burrow, Josh Dobbs. Kill me. This is the kill me game because nobody wants to watch this. Is this the week 5 version of the Ass Bowl? Yes, this is the Ass Bowl. Oh, this game sucks. Betting odds, Bengals by 3. Yeah, can they tie? That would definitely happen. I think they tied before, I'm pretty sure. I'm not exactly certain. But yeah, Joe Burrow last week, 20 of 30, 165 yards, got sacked 3 times, no touchdowns or interceptions. On the ground, 18 carries, 72 yards, mostly from Joe Mixon, who had 14 for 67. Through the air, 20 for 165 as a whole for the unit. 7 receptions, 73 yards for Jamar Chase. He's the only one that did really anything of note. Tyler Boyd had 4 for 26. T. Higgins, 2 for 19. I think he got hurt too. Tanner Hudson, 2 for 18. And then the rest really didn't do much, besides Trenton Irwin, who had 1 for 17. Defensively, they got 3 sacks. 1 from Miles Murphy, 1 from Sam Hubbard, and then a half a sack apiece for Trey Hendrickson and B.J. Hill. That's it. And then Dax Hill did have an interception as well, but that's not much. Now they're going up against a Cardinals team that has definitely looked like a feisty bunch. They are a feisty bunch. That's for sure. They will go out there and brawl with you. They showed against the Giants and they beat the Cowboys. Now last week they hung tough with the 49ers for a little bit. But overall, Josh Dobbs, 28 of 41, 265 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 sack allowed. On the ground, 25 carries, 105 yards, mostly from James Conner, who had 11 for 52. Dobbs himself at 12 for 48. So they're using him a lot in the run game, which is dangerous these days with how these D linemen and linebackers be hitting you. Through the air, 28 receptions, 265 yards, 2 touchdowns, both from Michael Wilson. 7 for 76 for him. Marquise Hollywood Brown led the way overall, 7 receptions, 96 yards. And then Zach Ertz, Amari DeMercado, Zach Pascal, Trey McBride, among others, got involved. Defensively, 1 whole sack from Dennis Gardeck. Wow. And then that's really it. So, not much there. Like I said, they did hang around for a bit. I mean, they had it to where they were down by 5, and then they gave up 2 touchdowns to San Francisco, which put it out of reach. So, bad Bengals team, but this would definitely be the Bungles get right game. This would be the game where Joe Burrow goes off. But with the way he's playing, I mean, let's take a look at the guys on that defense. So you got, Zaven Collins, Kaiser White, Gardeck, of course, Larkin, Lecky Fotu. Not a lot of names that you really recognize. But they can definitely possibly get after you if you let them. But yeah, I honestly believe the Bengals will win this game. They're going to squeak by and they're going to get their second win of the year. They're going to beat the Cardinals just because of Jamar Chase. I think Jamar goes off in this game, and Joe Mixon has a great game too. So give me the Bungles to go to 2-3 on the year, and Dashy will be having his little celebratory little thing that he always does, Victory Monday, and he does like 4 different things. He does like a Victory Monday stream and has as what he calls his Victory KFC meal. Like what? What? Oh, what? But now calling this game will be Kevin Kugler and Mark Sanchez. Watch this. If we are bad this year and Canada gets fired, right? I feel you picking Baltimore since they kicked the Browns defense. Yeah. But the defense was just wore out because they were out there so long. Because the offense did nothing. Which could happen again this week. We'll see what the Steelers do. If it's Trubisky, yeah, the Ravens should win this game with not relative ease, but they should win a comfortable margin. Yeah. But yeah, give me the Bungles to win this game. And again, the odds are 3 favoring Cincinnati. All right, moving on. We got the 4-0 Eagles and the 2-2 Rams in LA. Let me think. Was the last time the last time they were in LA was when they had Carson Wentz, right? I think. You know what? I want to divert away real quick. I got to look at something here. Got to look at something real quick, guys, because I'm very curious. So, historically, let's see here. While that's loading up, I got to do this real quick. Mm. Mm. Okay, so the Eagles played in LA in 2018 as well, on December 16th in 2018. They won too, so they did go back to LA the very next year after that game against the Rams in 2017 when Carson Wentz got hurt. Yeah, that's right. 30-23. Yeah. Foles started this game. That's right. That's right. All right, but I'm going to go Eagles to win this one without even looking at what the Eagles did and the Rams. I think the Eagles are just looking so good, but like I've said, they've gotten lucky too. But looking at the Rams, 27 of 40, 319, one touchdown, one pick, got sacked twice for Matthew Stafford. On the ground, 36 carries, 164 yards, two touchdowns from Kyron Williams, who had 25 carries, 103 yards himself with two tutties. Receiving wise, 27 receptions, 319 yards, and a touchdown from Puka Nakua. 9 for 163 for Puka. The Nuka. Because he blows up in your face. Whoa. Two sacks against Indy, by the way. One from Aaron Donald, of course, and one from Ernest Jones. So, of course, if you're the Eagles, you gotta keep an eye on Aaron Donald. Yep, you must keep an eye on him. It's gonna be tough, though. But of course, the Eagles, they had a firefight against the Commanders. The Commanders gave them everything they could handle. I thought the Commanders were actually going to win. And of course, in my eliminator group that I'm in on ESPN, I picked the Eagles. So I was sweating that game out a little bit. I was like, oh no, am I really going to be doomed because of this? No, the Eagles clutched up. The Eagles clutched up and beat the Commanders in overtime by 3 points because of Jake Elliott. But Jalen Hurts, 25 of 37, 319 yards, two touchdowns, got sacked 3 times, no interceptions, by the way. 27 carries, 104 yards, mostly from Swift, who had 14 for 56 and a touchdown. 27 carries, 104 yards, and a touchdown in total for the rushing attack. Through the air, 25 receptions, 319 yards, 2 touchdowns from A.J. Brown himself, who had 9 receptions, 175 of those 319 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So A.J. Brown went off, and he had that essentially the winning touchdown for the most part, yeah. Well, at least there should have been the winning touchdown, but then the Commanders went right down the field and scored and tied the game. But yeah, AJ Brown cooked. Devontae 7 for 78. Goddard 2 for 25. Swift 4 for 23. Good stuff out of the offense there. Defensively, 5 sacks against the Commanders. 3 from Nicholas Morrow. Okay, 1 from Josh Sweat and 1 from Hassan Reddick. Yeah, I think the Eagles defense is going to wreak havoc here. We saw what the Rams did, or what the Bengals did to the Rams. Now imagine what this defense is going to do against that Rams O line. Things could get pretty ugly if the Eagles defense has their way. But yeah, I'm definitely going with the Eagles to win this game. Betting odds for this one, 4 favoring the Eagles. Yeah, 4 favoring the Eagles. Eagles by 4 on the road. And calling this game, Kevin Burkhardt and Greg Olson. This is a late game. And yeah, I'm going to go Eagles, and they're going to go to 5-0 on the year. Next, we got the 1-3 Jets and the 1-3 Broncos. Oh, God. And to think, before the season started, we were looking at this game going, wow, Aaron Rodgers versus Russell Wilson. This should be fun. And instead, we get Russ versus Zach Wilson. We get a battle of Wilsons, everybody. Wilson War. Yeah. Too bad they both suck. um. Yeah. I talked about the Broncos in their last game just a little bit. Going more in depth against the Chicago Bears. Russ, 21 of 28, 3 touchdowns on 223 yards, got sacked only 1 time. On the ground, 19 carries for 97 yards. Jaleel McLaughlin led the way on the ground. 7 carries for 72 yards. Javonte Williams had 2 for 0. Wow. Through the air, 21 receptions, 223 yards, 3 touchdowns from Jaleel McLaughlin, Cortland Sutton, and Brandon Johnson. who had one reception for a touchdown on 4 yards. They didn't really do much through the air. Like, no, it was pretty good, spreading the wealth. Nobody got more than 5 targets, really. Yeah, nobody got more than 5 targets. Sutton and Judy had 5 apiece. Leading receiver was 3 receptions, 52 yards for Jerry Judy. And then 4 sacks against the Bears. 2.5 from Nick Bonito. And then you had 1 from Jonathan Cooper, who had that scoop and score, of course. And then a half a sack for Zach Allen. half a sack for Zach. A Zach sack. Huh. Oh boy. And now they get to face the Jets. And I don't even really want to go through the Jets stats, but I will say they did hang tough against the Chiefs. They actually had a chance too. They were looking solid. Right? Yeah. They were looking pretty good. Like Zach Wilson was actually looking decent in front of the primetime cameras, right? In front of Taylor Swift. And the Swifties, who definitely didn't know what the hell was happening, but they were just watching because Taylor Swift was on TV. But looking at what Zach Wilson did, 28 of 39, 245, 2 touchdowns, got sacked twice, did not throw a pick. 16 carries, 108 yards on the ground. Breece Hall led the way with 6 for 56, no touchdowns. Dalvin Cook, 5 for 16. Zach Wilson, 2 for 14. Through the air, Allen Lazard, 3 receptions, 61 yards, and a touchdown led the way there. And then CJ Uzama, who's still around, had a touchdown, 1 catch, 1 yard for a touchdown, 28 receptions, 245 yards, and 2 touchdowns in total for the Jets receiving unit. And then defensively, only 1 sack, and it was split between Quinnen Williams and Quentin Jefferson. Okay. That's it. And then they had 2 picks, too. Mosley and Ashton Davis had 2 interceptions. Yep. So there's that. Forcing Mahomes to throw 2 picks and you still lose. That's tough. That is tough. And when you look back at it, Greg Zuerlein missed a field goal. So there you go. There's the 3 points that you missed. But yeah, I mean, you look at this game. This is gonna be so bad, but I'm gonna go Broncos. Broncos are gonna get another win. They're gonna go to 2-3 on the year. The Jets just aren't really that good. Betting line for this game: Broncos by 1.5, and calling this game will be Andrew Catalan and Tiki Barber and Matt Ryan. Wow. Jets fans are like, hey Matt, if Zach Wilson sucks, Jets fans are gonna be looking at the booth going, hey Matt, can you go down there and play? I'd be like, yo Matt, can you play? Let's go down there and they'll get you a jersey. Can you play, please? This guy sucks. We want you. And fun fact, I think Matt Ryan actually said or I thought there was rumors that Matt Ryan could have come out and played for the Jets, but they have faith in Zach Wilson. Can't hate them for that. But yeah, give me the Denver Broncos to beat the Jets. And then to wrap up the 425 slate, we get the 3-1 Chiefs, who I just talked about a little bit, and the 1-3 Vikings. Starting with the Chiefs, while I got their game thing pulled up, their box score, Mahomes, 18 of 30, 203 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, and 1 sack allowed. This might have been the most pedestrian game he's had. He didn't blow up the stat sheet like he usually does. Although Isaiah Pacheco, he definitely blew up the stat sheet. 20 carries, 115 yards, and a touchdown. Good stuff out of him. Mahomes had 7 for 51, and that's really it. Nobody else really did much. Sky Moore, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Jerick McKinnon all had carries, but they didn't really do much. Through the air, though, Swift boy, yeah, Mr. Swift, the future Mr. Swift, Travis Kelce, 6 receptions, 60 yards, no touchdowns. Darn it. Noah Gray had 1 for 34 and a touchdown. He scored the only touchdown through the air. And then defensively, 2 sacks from Chris Jones and Mike Edwards. That's it there. So, yeah, this might have been the most pedestrian game Mahomes has had. Really, I mean, he didn't have a great game against the Lions, but that was without Kelsey. This is the most pedestrian game he's had with Kelsey in a long time, if ever. Of course, now he gets to face the Vikings, who just are not very good, but they are coming off a win over the Panthers. And in this game, Kirk Cousins, 12 of 19, 139 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, got sacked twice. On the ground, Alexander Madison, I should say, 17 carries, 95 yards. Cam Akers, 5 for 40. Through the air, so yeah, total 23 carries, 135 yards for the Vikings rushing attack. Through the air, 12 receptions, 139 yards, and 2 touchdowns, both from Justin Jefferson, who had 6 for 85 as well. 6 receptions, 85 yards, 2 touchdowns for J-Jet. Hawkinson had 2 for 24. Osborne, 1 for 16. Cam Akers, 2 for 11. They didn't really throw the ball much, 12 times. So they were mainly just abusing the Panthers on the ground for the most part. Defensively, 5 sacks. 3 from Harrison Smith, a safety. 1 from DJ Wonnum, and 1 from Marcus Davenport. So a safety gets 3 sacks. Wow, you're seeing that a lot. Safeties getting sacks because they're, coming on safety blitzes and stuff. It's going to be tough, but I think the Chiefs are going to handle this one. Yeah, they're going to go out there and take care of business against a mediocre to a very mid Vikings defense. And calling this game will be Jim Nantz and Tony Romo. It's in Minnesota, too. And we'll see if Taylor Swift shows up. I would not be shocked. Now, let's talk about Sunday Night Football. Yay. 3-1 Cowboys, 4-0 Niners. And I've talked about whoopings before. What the Cowboys did to the Patriots should be labeled rated PG-13 or rated R because, my God, they had Mac Jones fearing for his life. 38-3 over the Patriots. I think that has to be the worst loss of the Belichick era, without a doubt. Dak Prescott, 28 of 34, 261 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 sacks, 28 yards. There's that number again. 3 for 28. On the ground, 11 carries, 47 yards for Tony Pollard. Hunter Lepke had 2 for 4 and a touchdown. In total, 30 carries, 124 yards, and a touchdown on the ground. Through the air, 30 receptions, 281 yards, and a touchdown, coming from CeeDee Lamb, who had 4 for 36. Jake Ferguson, 7 for 77 yards, no touchdowns. So, yeah, they were dicing up the Patriots really good. But 2 sacks, too, from Dante Fowler Jr. and Sam Williams. And then, of course, Deron Bland had 2 picks. 1 went to the house. They were picking on Mac Jones all game long. They were bullying the poor guy. So you look at this, and then you look at their opponent, the Niners, who took care of business against the lowly Cardinals. This is going to be a gunfight. This is going to be an old-fashioned Western gunfight. This is going to be fun. Purdy versus Dak. Ooh. Now, as far as how Purdy did, 20 of 21. Yeah, he missed 1 throw the entire game. Threw 1 touchdown, got sacked 1 time. But again, it was the McCaffrey show. 20 carries, 106 yards, and 3 touchdowns for him. And yeah, I mean, nobody else really did anything. Jordan Mason, Debo, Kyle Juszczyk, Brock Purdy, and Sam Darnold even got in on the action there. 31 carries in total, 124 yards, 4 touchdowns. Brock Purdy ran in for a touchdown too. Through the air, my God, Brandon Ayuk, 6 receptions, 148 yards. My God. McCaffrey had 7 receptions, 71 yards, and a touchdown. 20 receptions, 283 yards, and a touchdown overall for the Niners. I'm telling you, Jim Schwartz, during his bye week, is probably thinking, yeah, he's probably going to call JOK in his office and be like, hey, yo, Jeremiah, mirror. Jeremiah going to walk in and be like, and you're just going to see McCaffrey on the TV, on the screen. And you'll be like, I'm going to need you to blanket this guy, mirror his every move. If I'm Jim, I'm going into that D line meeting room, and I'd be like, guys, I'm gonna need you to wreak havoc. You guys shut down Derrick Henry. We gotta face McCaffrey next week. He ain't like no Derrick Henry. He ain't no bruiser. He'll get you everywhere. He's a Swiss Army knife. He can catch the ball out of the backfield, and he can run you over if you're not careful. But is he gonna run our guys over? I mean, if he runs in the Miles Garrett, he ain't somebody you can just, shake off. I mean, Dwayne Haskins tried to, and this dude freaking had his undershirt stretched out like that. Who remembers that? That was hilarious. Rest in peace, Dwayne, of course. But our secondary is going to have their hands full with that receiving core, of course, especially Ayuk and Debo too. Denzel Ward's probably going to be on Ayuk. That's going to be fun. I don't know who Newsom's going to be on. Probably Debo. It's going to be a fun matchup next week. But of course, the Niners got to get through the Cowboys first. That's going to be fun. Ayuk versus most likely Deron Bland. Ooh. But yeah, on defense, 1 sack from Javon Hargrave. That's going to be another problem for us, having to deal with their pass rush and stuff. Should be a fun game, though. Looking forward to it. Yeah, Dallas looking really good. I'm glad this game's on prime time. This should be a banger. Absolute banger. It's going to be showtime. Big time for sure. And by the way, this game, of course, is in San Francisco. So, betting line is Niners by 3.5. Wow. Yeah, this is going to be a banger game. I can already tell you. Mm-hmm. But betting odds, like I said, 3.5 for the Niners. And of course, calling the game will be the usual crew, Tarico and Collinsworth. But in this game, I'm going to go with the Niners. Yeah, picking the Niners. What's up, Andrew? Go Vikes! I'm so hyped for Sunday Night Football. Harrison Smith, future Hall of Famer. Who's your team, Jacob? He's a Steeler fan. Niners, Camel. Wow, okay. 49ers, great team every other week. Kittle, CMC, Debo, Ayuk dominates. Hard to stop. Very hard to stop. They're going to have our defense in hell next week. I already know it. I just hope they're ready to go. But should be fun. But I'm going to go Niners to win this game over the Cowboys. I think it'll be right down to the bitter end. And I think at the end, Jake Moody wins it with a walk-off field goal late in the fourth quarter or even overtime. And they will go to 5-0, and hopefully we'll be the 1-5-1 next week. But we'll get to that when the time comes. But it'll be a fun game this one. But yeah, I'm gonna go Niners to take down the Cowboys, and they're gonna go to 5-0 on the year. And Brock Purdy will continue to be undefeated as the starting quarterback in the regular season. Moving on to the Monday Night Football game, 2-2 Packers, 1-3 Raiders. Oh my god, dude. The Packers lost at home on Thursday night to the Lions. Uh, Jordan Love, 23 of 36, 246 yards, one touchdown, two picks, got sacked 5 times. Aaron Jones had 5 carries for 18 yards. Dylan had 5 for 11. Jordan Love had 2 for -2 yards. So their running game was ineffective. Through the air, 23 receptions, 246 yards, and a touchdown from Christian Watson, who had 2 for 25. Overall, Romeo Dobbs, 9 receptions, 95 yards. Jaden Reed had 3 for 55. Torrey had 1 for 35. DeGoro, 4 for 34. Not really much there from their receivers. Defensively, 2 sacks from Devontae Wyatt and Carl Brooks. And yeah, other than that, not really much else to talk about. Now, the Raiders, yeah, they were in a dogfight with the Chargers. And they were actually starting Aiden O'Connell because Jimmy G got hurt. And Aiden looked good. Yeah, not going to sugarcoat it. He looked good. I'm not going to, overstate. He looked decent out there. And then he threw a bad interception trying to go to the end zone. Now, of course. But yeah, 24 of 39, 1 interception, 238 yards, got sacked 7 times. Wow. That's crazy. And by the way, since they're not playing, Justin Herbert, 13 of 24, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. He got sacked twice. 23 carries, 76 yards, 2 touchdowns for Raiders rushing. Josh Jacobs, 17 for 58 and a touchdown. Aiden O'Connell had 3 carries, 3 yards, and a touchdown. Through the air, 24 receptions, 238 yards, mostly from Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams, who had 8 receptions apiece. 81 yards through the air for Jacobs, 75 for Adams. Jacoby Myers had 2 for 33 as well. But yeah, nobody else really made any noise besides Jacobs and Adams. Defensively, 2 sacks, both from Max Crosby. So he's going to be a handful for a beat up Packers O line, who's going to be without Bakhtiari probably for the rest of the year. Betting odds for this contest are Packers favored by 2. And of course, Buck and Aikman will be calling this one, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, with that, I think I'm going to go Packers to take down the Raiders on the road. And they're going to go to 3-2 on the year. So, just a quick recap of all the games. I'm going to go Commanders, Bills, Texans, Lions, Titans, Dolphins. Yep, Dolphins. Then I'm going to go Saints. No, that's right. I'll go Packers. That's right. I went Patriots. Duh. Patriots to bounce back. Yeah. Give me the Pats. Ravens, Bengals, Eagles, Broncos, Chiefs, Niners, and Packers. There you go. So with that being said, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Went about an hour and a half, so not too bad. Yeah, I'm sure they do. That's going to be fun. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this live stream, guys. As always, leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell, and as it says in the description, bet responsibly. I don't want to be, I'm not responsible for how you spend your money, but I don't want to hear about you freaking betting on games and you be like, oh, Crazy told me to. Don't listen to me. Do what you want to do, but don't listen to me. Responsibly. Don't overdo it. Gonna wind up living in a box on the side of the road somewhere because you freaking bet your entire allowance or your mortgage on a freaking bet and you lost by like 1 freaking yard or something. Like, bet responsibly. That's all I gotta say. So with that being said, I will see you all, tomorrow night for Game 2, NL Wildcard Series Game 2, Marlins and Phillies. Can the Phillies put it away and advance to the DS? Or do the Marlins stay alive for one more win or go home game? See what happens. Should be a fun day tomorrow. I'm excited. Hope you guys are too. So, with that being said, I'm going to head out and have a good rest of your night. And I will see you all tomorrow night for Marlins and Phillies. I'm Crazy Dog. Go Browns. And I'm out. I'm really going to enjoy this bye week too. And like I said earlier, I might stream Steelers Ravens. Keyword is might. I'll probably have a firm decision by Friday or Saturday. So keep an eye out for that. With that being said, go Browns. I'm out. Bye bye.